HM Agra, how you doing? How's everybody doing? How's Sunday treating you? I think, yep. I mean, I always forget one thing. I'm trying to think what I forgot today. Maybe nothing. Bring that down a little bit. And I think we're just about ready. And we'll get started here. Oh, happy holidays as well. Saw the calendar. I'm not really a holiday person, but I saw the calendar today and I realized we are getting close to some holidays. We're in the middle of some other holidays. So before I forget, happy holidays. Hope everything is going well for you in this very odd year we've been having. All right. So here we go. What's going on the farm? Off camera, I did, let me see. We don't really use this menu for this now. We use this menu. Yeah, off camera, you know, we got field 40, 78, and 77 scanned last episode. And we got the lime on those. And then we also got the first layer of fertilizer on them, nitrogen. And we did that as slurry. I completely forgot the word. We did that as slurry last time because we're supposed to use slurry before we sow, and then after we sow, we're supposed to use chemical fert, pellet fert, or liquid fert. And we bought this land down here, and we installed the slurry and digestate purchase point. So we own this now. This is where our bales are stored. I think last time I looked at them, they had about 70 hours to go before their silage. So we own this land. We'll do something with it. I think we're going to build a BGA. There's really no reason to. I mean, when you see where these fields are, I thought this was like more centrally located as far as being in the center of the map. It would be more convenient. But then you look where our farm is, right? Our 8 fields that we own. The BGA is right here. It's really no different in terms of convenience. But I just like the idea of building our own modular BGA. I like that system. I like the look of it. I haven't used it yet. It was released after I stopped playing 19, so it'll be fun to play with that a little bit. So then, what did I do? Off camera, I scanned field 1, field 2, and field 6 using the probe. We still need to scan field 7. I left this one, so we're going to scan field 7 today, and then I sprayed liquid fert on field 2 and field 6. I did not spray field 1 yet, and I did not spray field 7 yet. Is that right? Yeah, so this field essentially has nothing on it. I mean, we're super, super low. Or did I spray this one? No, I did spray this one. I did. It was just, everything was at 0, and this was as high as we could get it. These two were a little bit better, and so they came up. So we still need to scan and spray field 7, and then we're going to accelerate time. I believe our grass will sprout overnight, and then tomorrow we can spray either pellet fert or liquid fert on 40, 78, and 77. Oh no. And I just remembered 37. We have to scan field 37 as well. We do. Okay, so we'll scan field 7 and field 37 and see how it goes. Oh, I'm a little bit scattered. I think we can save this save game. I really do. And I mean, I started playing 19 again. Let me see. Precision farming dropped on the, what was it, the 8th? And I started playing again on the, maybe the 1st. So I wanted to sort of get familiar with the game again before precision farming dropped, have my mods all sorted out. And I guess I sort of did, but sort of didn't. I mean, there were still some things that I needed to, I had some, I wouldn't say bad mods, I just had some mods that were a little bit out of date, some of the 4D stuff. I did go to the Era Agra, pardon me while I drive on the field a little bit, get into our tram lines. I did go to the Era Agra, the 4D modding, I don't know, the page on Era Agra, and I got updated current versions of the slurry tankers with the hose mod. Last episode, we were on that struggle bus with the hoses. I think we had some hose mod compatible vehicles and some that were not. So we got all that sorted out. I got all that sorted out off camera. And what else? I uninstalled the dirt color mod. The one wheel never getting the dirt color. It just, I was triggered. I couldn't handle it. So I uninstalled those, and I think Yeah, I mean, the alternative would be for us to start a new map. But I feel like because we do this long play, slow play sort of series with the maps that we play on the channel, it makes more sense to... I feel like it needs to be broken up. We have to have some type of something between... Let's get this unfolded. Between events, right? So we got these fields prepped. If we started another map, we would immediately hop into prepping fields again. I feel like we need to break it up a little bit. We need to have a harvest or something in between prepping fields, right? So we'd be buying animals, we'd be looking at land. We've done all that fairly recently. So let's do something, let's continue moving forward and do something new. And now we want, is it that? Yeah, we want this. Take soil sample is going to be X? Yeah. So I think this makes the most sense. It is, I don't know, it's a little hokey, right? That we don't have, I guess, the ideal setup, and we're sort of learning about precision farming. But whatever map we were on, we would need to be learning about it. So it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. You know what? It's all just farming. It's all just pixels. So I will get this done, and we'll go over. We sort of we passed field 3-7 on the way to the store, and we have to go to the store to get our sprayer anyway. So that makes sense. We'll scan field 3-7 and then head down, drop this thing off, pick up a sprayer of some kind. I mean, I guess since I used liquid on those other 2 fields, I guess we could go pellet, right? Why not? And then we'll just keep that overnight because we may be spreading pellet tomorrow for our grass fields, assuming they grow overnight, and I think they will. I have a feeling they will. I feel like spring and summer, your grass is always doing something. So every opportunity that it gets, those rule of thirds for seasons, break everything into thirds. And I want to say on the 4th and 7th day of every season, your grass does something. So I believe it's going to grow tomorrow, and then we can continue fertilizing. And from there, I don't know. I mean, sell wool. I guess we could sell some wool at some point. I kind of want to wait till it's worth a lot of money. Like, I don't know, 3,500, 4,000 per thousand, because it's at like 15 right now. I'd rather let it go way up, so we could make, well, I mean, 2 to 3x the price. And you know what? We're far enough into the corner. I'm going to go ahead and scan here, or take a sample here, I guess is a better way to say it. And I do feel like when we scan, there's a little bit of like bleed over, because this thing is, it's a circular, it's a round whatever. The sample area is round. But I feel like even if you miss a little bit, it sort of fills in the gaps. As long as you get sort of close, it's close enough. So, you know, we can go right here. Carefully back up. Right in here. There we are. So yeah, and what else is going on? Nothing? Really nothing. Nothing is going on. Two titles dropping next week. One's a DLC, one's a game. And then that's it. That's it for 2020. What a year, man. What a crazy, crazy year. I am enjoying Precision Farming DLC, I have to say. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it. I wasn't sure how comprehensive it would be, but it works. And I do think modders are going to go absolutely bananas with this after the first of the year. I think that's when we'll see the mods drop. And because this is a DLC and sort of a Giants, I don't know, it's a mod, right? You get it from the mod hub, but since it's sort of a Giants DLC, I suspect they may be a little bit more restrictive in the mod hub about what kind of mods they approve, right? Whereas sometimes it's a bit of a free-for-all. I think this may be a little bit more buttoned up. But I think people are going to be adding fertilizer types. I think they're going to be adding fertilizer combos. Somebody has got to add potassium, I think. That makes sense, doesn't it? Right, and then we would have our 3 sort of basic fertilizer types. One right here. And bring those in combo. Now, I don't know if the code will ever be capable of delivering those automatically in the proper proportions, right? Because as it is now, when you go to auto mode, it determines the application rate, but I don't know if the code will be capable of determining the application rate for 2 different products at the same time. I mean, maybe. Sounds easy enough, but I don't know if it will ever get to that point. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what they do with it. I'm also curious. I don't know if any of the, right, because the Realismus modding crew, let's back up and get this little corner back here so we don't forget it. Not Realismus, Master Brain Bytes, the Cattle and Crops crew, they are big time farm sim modders. I don't know if any of them are still modding for farm sim or if they're focused entirely on cattle and crops. But I got to thinking, could the crew that came up with the cattle and crops soil chemistry, could they mod the mod, right, and bring some of that functionality to farm sim? Why not, right? I mean, that's what they've done with AI. I want to say one of the creators or the creator of Courseplay is involved with cattle and crops. Don't quote me on that. But they've got their own AI in cattle and crops, and then we've got Courseplay, which is sort of an AI that we use in farm sim. So who knows, man? One thing I've learned is nothing can surprise me past a certain point. So let's see how it all works out. But I'm super excited about this. Nice way to close out the year. And I'm also happy to be back in 19. I didn't know quite how I'd feel about it, but I'm okay with it. It's treating me all right. I'm enjoying it more than I was when I stepped away from it. And that's nice. Because when the global company experience, I had to take a minute. I had to step away. All right. Hey, easy. I need to go into VCA and edit the delay, right? Because as it stands right now, when you stop the vehicle, there's like I don't know, maybe a 2-second pause before the parking brake applies. I'd like to back that down to like 1 second or half a second. I feel like I need to pause just a little too long. All right, so right about there. I also noticed our slurry that we were buying from the slurry purchase point was like 10,000 pounds per tank. I had no idea it was that expensive. For some reason, I always think of slurry as a much more, I don't know, affordable kind of fertilizer. But I think it's because you get it for free. Well, it's not really for free. You have to run a dairy to get it. But it's like digestate. You know, you don't really pay for it, so I don't think of it as something that costs a lot of money. But we were probably paying more for slurry than we would have paid if we just used pellet fert. And the only reason we were using slurry is because precision farming says you're supposed to. I don't know how binding that is. I think it may just be kind of like they're suggesting it. Hey, Fried, how you doing, man? How's Sunday treating you? It could be they're just sort of, I don't know. Because every time I think about it, you know, when we start a map, we've got no access to slurry unless we buy it. So that is an interesting conundrum. All right, send soil samples for analysis. Left button Y. All right. So we'll send those. And I think we can drive down there with this thing unfolded. I think that'll be all right. And I completely forgot about field 3-7. You got a non-responsive dungeon master. That's unacceptable. All right, well, whatever happens, that works out for me. So if you're around, great. And if not, I hope you have a fantastic tabletop session. And I'm anticipating there will be an update for VCA because for some reason, only when you have this implement on, the transmission does not shift. I don't know why that is. But fortunately, we're almost done with this thing. Yeah, if we bumped up to a higher gear right now, like if we dropped this thing and pulled forward, we'd go to a higher gear. If we backed up and picked it up again in that higher gear, everything would be fine, but it doesn't want to shift while it's on. Ah, I learned something, Fried. There's a default mode. Maps don't need to be updated. You can update them if you want specific places on your map to have specific soil types, right? Like if you had a riverbed and you wanted it to be clay, or if you had some mountains and you wanted them to be sandy or sandy loam, you could manually create that file. But if not, the game just throws in a default kind of swirly file and it works just fine. I have to say they didn't really make that clear because I spent several hours trying to convert this map, finally gave up and figured, well, we'll just go with, all one soil type or blank or whatever. And turns out it's already got the swirly map. So I would say that needed to be more clear in the hype, because a lot of people that are into something like precision farming are going to be people playing mod maps. So I think that could have been made more clear. All right, and we will very slowly and very stately drive up to the top of the field. Now I'm curious what this one looks like, because this is the stripy one, right? And I don't know what to do to get rid of that. I think the field literally has to like grow through those stripes, because I've subsoiled it, I've cultivated, I've planted it twice, and it's still got those stripes. So whatever they are, whatever mesh or layer those are, they ain't going away. And I have sprayed this field for weeds, and you can see we got stripes through the weeds as well. So I think, well, I don't know. Something's broken. Something in field 3.7 is broken. But it will get fixed at some point. I believe once it grows, everything will be fine. But yeah, those weeds, there's no way to get rid of those. And that is also proof now, because we have subsoiled this field twice, and cultivated it twice, and planted it twice, and we still have seeds. And I have seen several people say that if you plow or subsoil a field, you will not get weeds that season. I think that is a internet rumor. I think that is fake news. I've not found that to be true, and I think this confirms it. Okay, so we'll pull right in here somewhere. And I know we are driving on a planted field. We're making some exceptions, trying to play realistically, but I think we're not going to be able to play perfectly realistically this save game. There's too many things up in the air right now. All right, and I think we may be able to get this in 2 samples, side to side, maybe. Let's see how far out this goes. If we can still be sort of occluding that circle by the time we get to the edge of the field. It's pretty close. Pretty close. We may have to come up and grab a single sample in the middle, but let's try this. There we go. Yeah, MXGP20 this coming week. I don't know. I like the milestone motorcycle games, but yeah, it's got that Madden feel to it, no doubt. Just buying some new costumes. I don't know where they're at as far as making money, not making money. Are they a small independent studio? Would you consider them to be a major game developer? I don't know. And the reason I wonder that is, are they a studio that needs my support, or am I just throwing buddy away? But I do like those games, and there are incremental differences between them from year to year. In like MotoGP 20 this year, there's a really expanded sort of team management aspect, and you can also manage a Moto 2 and a development team, which is kind of a nice thing to do. Pick your rider and decide how you want to grow your team and what resources you want to commit to it, and you can only spend the money that your teams raise. So if your Moto 2 team wins and gets prize money, you can use that to buy stuff for the team, but you can't use your own money. which is, I mean, I can see why they did that, because I'm doing pretty good in MotoGP, and I've got plenty of money. Pardon me, hang on. Got a little bit dry there. Dirt 4. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. He said Dirt 4. I was thinking Ride 4. Yeah. You know, I can be, but no guarantees. I noticed in WRC8, I didn't get WRC9 because it's on EGS, and I'm trying to buy as little as possible from EGS. But I bought WRC8 on Steam when it came out of embargo, and there's a way that you can do career mode and turn off the team management stuff, turn off the perks, the points, hiring staff, everything else. I think that is really, I hope to see more developers do that. I mean, I know people like stuff like that, but plenty of people don't. And if you don't, you're sort of saddled with it. So like what you're talking about in Dirt 4, you know, hiring sponsors and everything else. Yeah, some people don't want to do that. So the option to turn it off, I think, would be a perfect compromise. As in Farm Sim. You don't have to run seasons. You don't have to run precision farming. All right. I'm glad I spotted this field. I've been a little bit scattered on this map, I have to say. And I'm glad I saw field 3-7 because I would have totally forgotten about it. And who knows what kind of yield we would have got on this field. There we are. I got, is it Pro Cycling Manager? Yeah, I think it's just called Pro Cycling Manager. I got Pro Cycling Manager. I'm a huge fan of cycling, competitive cycling, road and mountain. And I refunded it before my 2-hour window was up. It was so confusing for me, like the depth of it. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like the only way you can make money is in career mode, and the only way you can do career mode is with the team stuff. So I mean, I like the idea of the Pro Cycling Manager, I guess, more than I like the actual game. I did refund it. There was nothing, I don't want to say there was anything wrong with it. It was just, I don't know. It was all management. 100% management. It was a little bit more than I wanted to get into. Not exactly my particular brand of vodka. So management is for some people, it's not for others. And I guess for me, sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. I mean, there's plenty of farm management stuff that I really like and would almost want it to be expanded out a little bit more than it is. And then and then at other games and sims, it's like, yeah, no, I just want to do my thing. I don't want any management. Oh, I know it. I was in the industry for years, and I can remember many times going into the shop that I was working at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch live coverage of the Spring Classics, Paris-Roubaix and the Flèche Wallonne. What's the? I'm spacing out on it. Bastogne. For some reason I couldn't remember, but yeah, yep. I used to be tremendously into cycling. I guess I still am, less than I was, but that was my life for many years. No, reverse that. Liège, Bastogne, Liège. Not Bastogne, Liège, Bastogne. Oh, faux pas. Thinking about cycling now. That was a fun time. That was a fun time in my life. Hang on, we've got to do something about this. I don't want to have to delete another video, but things are not going smoothly here. All right, and see, straight away we shift, no problem. It's only this very small implement that we have on here. And I think as we were backing up, it shifted down even another gear. Yeah, we're stuck. I don't get it, man. We're stuck in this gear now. Oh yeah, that's super cool. I know people that have been in Paris for the end of the tour many times. I've only ever seen US events. Never seen any events overseas. I would like to, though. Cyclocross is fun too. Are we says we got no dropped frames. My we're stuttering a little bit over here, and my preview is frozen. Hang on, let's refresh this. I feel like my internet periodically just kind of I wouldn't say it times me out. I feel like it's like I've had enough bandwidth. It just wants me to wait a little while. Now, it says our upload is okay, it says our frame rate is okay, and it says we haven't dropped any frames, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, cyclocross is nuts. Going out and standing in a muddy field, in the snow, in the rain, drinking brandy and ringing a cowbell. I've spent many a Sunday doing that. God, I cannot wait for VCA to update. This shifting thing is madness. Yeah, we could have just, in fact, we're going to, because this is taking too goddamn long. We got things to do. All right, garage, leased items. Yeah, it's not that big an implement, but as soon as we disconnect from it, we start shifting again. So I think it's VCA just needs to be updated, and I'm sure it will be soon. But yeah, that's too slow, man. We got things to do. All right. And whoa, once again, my preview is frozen. Come on now. All right, there goes that. Now we're gonna lock this in here. There goes that. Okay. All right. I think last episode was the one that did it. I've been a little bit, I don't know, a little bit nervous streaming Farm Sim. I don't know why, but whoa, and now the camera's going. We're not going to do another episode like last week. We need to keep it together here. Yeah, I've been getting a little bit flustered in Farm Sim, and I'm not sure why. But I think the more I worry about making absolutely the most perfect video, the more tense I get, the more things go wrong. So we'll try to relax here and enjoy ourselves. What do we say? A broadcast spreader. We're going to get the broadcast spreader. We're going to fill it and head back up the road since we already used the sprayer. Try this for now, and we may need to come back down and refill one time. But hopefully not too many times. All right through there. And I think we'll do the same spreader we did before, because there's no unique sprayer for any of the new DLC. I mean, for the Alpine pack, I want to say. Oh no, there is this one. Okay. So this is Kverneland and Vicon. go with this one. 1,800 liters. Yeah, let's do it. We'll go 24 meter. No, I do not want to purchase it. I want to lease it. There we go. All right. So we got that, and then we need 1 IBC of fertilizer. There we go. "48 hours. The game came out how many days ago? 4 days. So 12 hours a day, 4 days. Almost done with the main story. Yeah, that's about right. You're like one of those people that finished Red Dead in a week. That's awesome, man. How's the game treating you? What do you think of it? Is it everything you were hoping for? And let's see if this pulls the front wheels off the ground. No, not too bad. Not too bad. And I also realized we've been trying to do more first person, and we drove down here third person, so we'll drive back first person. Pretty light on the front wheels. We will be careful. Now I'm watching 2 different people play it. I'm watching a streamer play it on Twitch in the morning. When I'm working, when I'm doing stuff, I have that on in the background. And then in the evenings, I watch the Rad Brad play it, and he records and then posts videos. And it is, it's amazing, but I'm seeing 2 different gamers play it in 2 very different ways, and I think the game really lends itself to playing in any style that you want. You know, it really is kind of an open world thing. Hang on, let me read the chat. A lot of negativity surrounding it. Yeah, I mean, no game is perfect. There are always going to be disappointing things, and in a way, the more hype you have, the easier it is to be disappointed, right? Like the Range Rover has one of the lowest customer service, has one of the lowest customer satisfaction ratings of any vehicle. But it also has, in the modern era, I mean, 10 years ago it was a little different, 15 years ago, but now it's got one of the lowest recall and service rates. So it actually is a very reliable vehicle. It doesn't have a lot of problems, and yet people are very often unsatisfied with it. And I think the reason why is because you pay $100,000 for a truck, right? Your expectations are very high, possibly unrealistically high. And I think titles like Cyberpunk end up, whether they want to be or not, they end up in that same trap that, you know, as long as people have waited and as much hype as there has been for the game, it's almost inevitable that there's going to be disappointment that is like disproportionate to any real complaint. It's just because of the hype. Expectations are unreasonable. Most of what I've heard about it has been good. And I mean, there is, when I watch it, sometimes I get a feeling that it's like GTA 2077. You know, it's very much got that GTA feel where, you know, you're talking to somebody and then you're in a gunfight and then you're hanging out the back of a car shooting at somebody. So it's got some, I guess, some elements of a GTA type game, but I think because GTA sort of defines that genre, any game that borrows any of those elements is going to have maybe a little bit of a GTA feeling to it. I mean, Red Dead had a GTA feeling, except instead of hanging out the back of a car, you were hanging off the back of a horse. Lack of detail in the character creator. Now, the people that I saw creating characters, there was a ton of stuff that they could set up, like really just unbelievable amounts of detail. Do you not find that to be the case? And I'm curious how far this 1,800 liters that we have is going to go, because these fields are more or less like bone dry. I guess when you install Precision Farming DLC, it resets your fertilizer state. Some of these fields were done, or were 2/3 done, and now they're not done at all. So we may use a ton of this stuff. Hopefully not all of it. All right. And there's that again. They promised way more. Compared to other character creators, it's on detail. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I hadn't heard that. But, I mean, I don't doubt you. I just hadn't heard that. Interesting. Okay, so you can pick body type, but then once you've picked a type, you can't modify it at all. Take the shoulders out, take the belly out. You're just kind of working with the presets that they give you. That is interesting. I would think with the way Ubisoft does things. I know, we're driving on a field. Not realistic. With the way Ubisoft does things, I feel like they've sort of set the standard for that recently. But that's been a couple years now with games like Ghost Recon and Assassin's Creed. Can't even choose type. That's problematic. Because I know a lot of people expect to play as themselves in this era. I still see some people go, random. Right? They just hit the random button and then whatever the creator gives them, that's what they play as. And I know some people play as the opposite of themselves, but a lot of people really like to play as their actual self. Developers have to know that. They've got to know that. All right. So we're going to spray. Wow. This field is, when we go back here now, this field is, I think we do have to spray up here. Yeah, because we sprayed 2 and 6. We need to spray up here as well. Okay. That's really, I have to say, that's really disappointing. That's not something that I expect in this era. And I really sort of do expect developers to know better. I mean, you have to think video game developers know more about video games than I do. Like, I think of myself as a fan, but that's all they do. They went to school for it. Like, that's all they do. And they've got the data and the research and the feedback. I sort of expect more, I have to say. All right. Well, that's one. That's one thing. I will. Hang on, let me get turned around here. I'll go back a few episodes on the Rad Brad. Now, I'm not like talking shit on the Rad Brad. He's awesome. He is beloved. So I'm choosing my words carefully here. But I know people got to work for a living. I know there's a couple YouTubers. I absolutely will not say the names, but there are a couple YouTubers that I unsubbed from because I watched them play a game and they just had nothing but absolutely like amazing things to say about it. Just couldn't say enough nice things about it. And then you buy the game and you play it and it's like, wow, what did they pay you? How much did they pay you to say those things? Because this is obviously not the same game, or times when like you can't even get a game to run for an entire session, just constantly crashing. You look on Steam and everybody's like, oh yeah, I can't keep it running either. That game crashes constantly. And you go back and look at that creator's work and they never mention that. So I do take what YouTubers say with a grain of salt. I tend to be much more believing when people say things rather than YouTubers. I know YouTubers are people, but you know what I mean. Got to make a living, man. You got to pay those bills. I respect that. Swiss Farming Guy, how you doing? How's Sunday treating you? Man, I'll tell you what, it is so much easier to do this when y'all are here. I get so nervous when there's nobody here and I'm just talking to myself. I really do. As soon as the chat fills up, I start to relax and we're just talking about gaming. It's much easier that way. No pressure. I'm not putting any pressure on you. I'm just saying. Yeah, and you know, I try to keep my channel 100% positive. I don't really do game reviews, but there are a couple games that when I was recording videos and posted them, there's a couple games that I tried to record a video of, and it was like, oh, this game sucks. And I thought, well, why don't I record a video of me playing this game that sucks, talking about how much it sucks? And it's like, yeah, no, it's not that kind of channel. So I think the Rad Brad he's got a reputation as being a super positive, super upbeat guy. You know, he's just a really cool, laid back guy. And I think even if there were problems with the game, he might not necessarily like talk about them, you know, just to keep it positive. And I don't know the guy, and I'm not speaking for him. I don't pretend to, but I just wonder sometimes. Uploaded a new video today, almost 2.5 hours. Oh, right on. I didn't know you uploaded. Now I want to check that out. I am fantastic at talking to myself. I've spent way too many days and nights in the mountains. And I think we may have, I mean, we got a smart sprayer on here, so we're not overspraying this field, but I feel like we should have just gone to the top and only sprayed down. Swiss Farming Guy, when I'm done here, I'm going to check your channel out. I want to see what you're uploading. Yeah, we got horsepower and wheel slip props. Oh, hang on. We got. Do we? There we go. We got 4-wheel drive. Maybe this will help. All right. Come on now. And we did go with the 24-meter boom spread, and our tram lines on our other field are 24 meters. So I think as long as we stay in those tram lines, we'll be able to get those other 2 fields done, no problem. I also think we're going to have to go refill at least once, maybe twice, because this is a relatively small field, and we are at just about half empty. So yeah, I think we're going to have to go refill. Not a big deal. And I think that, yeah, I want to say this field is like 100 meters wide, so it's like 4 passes with the 24-meter booms. Man, if that is the case in real life, and the map maker set it up that way, I have so much respect for that. Wait a minute. The Swiss Farming Guy is Dutch? What is going on? Not quite. What do we do here? I'm going to split the difference. See, I started over too far. I was going to go down the middle, and then we got gaps. We got problems. Sigh. Bring this back. Okay, I will. Yeah, I think if I keep the tractor centered in that area that is not sprayed, I think it will turn the nozzles on. And I think the animation will be on for the full length of the booms, but it may only be spraying in the center. I don't know. We'll find out momentarily. And we're at 44%. Yeah, we're going to need to refill. All right, let's make a big turn here. I do like the spread of equipment in these two most recent DLC, the Kverneland Vicon and the Alpine Pack. I feel like there's something in almost every category. Oh, look at all these multilingual people in the chat. That's so cool. All right, so this field is, now this field is green. All right, we're gonna have to see what happens tomorrow. I think it's gonna take one full season for all of this fertilizer and lime to cycle through. I think that's how it's gonna have to work out. All right. And I thought about putting tramlines in this field, but I didn't, because we did all this before precision farming was released. Fantastic. Nice animation. All right, here we go. Toy museum. I like the sound of this. And I think because we are going to run out after we've done a few passes, because we're going to run out, I think what I want to do is start in this lower field. So we only have to drive up the hill to field 7, 8 once. I'm sorry, field 1. Right, we have to make that long drive up that little lane right here, right? So to only drive up there once, let's go ahead and use what we have in the tank, right? Drain it. We'll go down to refill. We'll come back and do field 1 and as much of this next one as we can. And then when we're done there, then we'll refill again and finish off this field. In my mind, that makes perfect sense. In real life, who knows? A whole room of miniature trains. All right, I'm intrigued. Bad. Who is dipping in here and dropping a downvote for me every day? Whose feelings have I hurt? Who's mad at me? Oh, you know who that is? That's got to be Jaden, because I didn't watch his video. Sorry, brother. That's how life works out sometimes. Yeah, it's not random. I know who's doing that. I feel bad, but it's not a channel for kids, and it's not a channel for kids. All right, and we're stuck here now. So let's get our 4-wheel drive on, right? And lock in some diffs and see if this helps us get up the field at all. And it does, beautiful. See how far this goes. I think we'll get 1, maybe 2 passes from this. Probably no more than that. Oh, PTO power. Oh, it's like getting kicked in the face. Come on, little tractor. Proceed works pretty well. I'm not disappointed with Proceed at all. It's the first time I've used it in 19 is when I came back to the game. And it works okay. No complaints. Oh yeah? That's not very That's sort of atypical. Most D&D players are found to be very methodical, like engineering types, you know, very organized. That's unusual for a DM. Plus, I mean, they love D&D. All right, so I'm not going out and painting all the corners. I am trying to spray this as we would spray in real life. Oh, easy. Oh, right on. So when you said miniature trains, I grew up in Pittsburgh, and there was a massive train set at the old Science Center, which then got moved to the new Science Center, the Carnegie Science Center. But if you Google the either the Buell trains or the Carnegie Science Center trains, it's this massive layout. It's got to be, I don't know, 150 feet long, just massive, unbelievably detailed. And we used to go see that. They worked on it all year round, but then it was open for the holidays, so we would go see that typically between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But that's a very good memory from growing up, is going to see the trains. You know, I do play with Courseplay, but I find on UK maps, on British style maps, with the tight hedges, it doesn't always work well. I think it works great on German maps and American maps that are more wide open, but it sort of struggles on anything tight, I've found. All right. All right, so let's go refill, and we'll go first person for this. Let's go refill and come back up the hill, and there we go. Come back up the hill. We'll do field 1 first. And then come back down and finish this one. I think 1 tank will be enough. Field 3-7 was taking a lot more fertilizer than field 7 was. Even though it was smaller, I feel like we used a lot more. Checking for traffic, even though there isn't any. I do like Courseplay. I think it works so cool on some maps when you can have carts set up to service a combine harvester and make trips to a grain sell point, or make trips to a silo and unload, right? When you can have everything on Courseplay, your combine harvester and your carts, and you just sit back and put your feet up and watch them work. Oh, no, no worries, Fried. It's, I haven't even noticed, but even if I did, I mean, who cares, man? We all speak chat now. Foxy, what is happening? How's Sunday treating you? Yeah, I hear you, Fried. I get a little ahead of myself sometimes. You studied German for your test tomorrow. German language, German history. What are you studying for? I'm curious. And my Sunday is fantastic. Could not be better. Very carefully making my way down here. And no, we're going to have problems because we've got, I want to say 200 liters left in the tank that's down here. We're going to buy another tank. That's 2,000. So then we'll have 400 left in that one. And this stuff's not that expensive, but I hate to waste it. Oh, right on. Now, is German considered a Romance language as well? Language fascinates me, but I don't know a ton about it. Some kind, yeah, little history mixed in there. Carefully. All right, dip right through there. Man, that is fascinating that the soil sample probe digger prevents VCA from shifting to higher gears. No, an actual Romance language. I think it's French, Spanish, and Italian are definitely in there. I don't know if there are any others. Hang on. Let me look them up. Googling. The Romance language family. The Romance languages are the modern languages that evolved from Vulgar Latin between the 3rd and 8th centuries. So no, I think you're... Yeah, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, Sardinian, and Occitan? Okay. Okay, I got you. All right, so we're going back here, and we want 1 tank of fertilizer. Oh, 3,200. This is how we go broke. Let's refill. Everybody's having problems typing today. All right, here we go. I'm the world's fastest 2-finger typer. I really am. I type unbelievably fast with like, well, it's more than 2, but it's certainly not like, it's not typing. I'm definitely pecking. I just peck super, super fast. All right, and what do we need? We need to do field 1 and then field 7, right? And I think at that point we can speed up time. What is it? It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, at that point we'll speed up time, sleep through the night, and ooh, you know what? No, we'll return this thing because I want to use a broadcast spreader tomorrow. Tomorrow in game, since we've used a liquid sprayer. I'll mix it up a little bit. Yeah, it's I mean, you would think that your hands would just evolve and that you would sort of begin using all of your fingers. As many years as we've all been typing with 2 fingers, you would think you would just, you know, the other ones would just gradually come into play, even if you weren't doing it formally using any system. They would all just find a way to get involved. But that's not the case. And I think, no, I don't want to do that. Maybe, do we? I was thinking we could hop in the JCB because it's a little bigger. Yeah, we'll have to see. We've got the crop destruction turned on. We've got tram lines in our big fields. Yeah, what I might do is, yeah, let's do that. Let's go into the JCB when we're done with the sprayer. and we'll use that for our broadcast spreader since it's got the GPS aerial, right? And we'll use field guidance, so we, even though we'll be crushing crop, we'll sort of be creating tram lines. Yes, it is. And I want to say there was somebody in the first episode. There was somebody in the chat that said this area is close to them. This is based on a real satellite map, and that these roads are not very far from where they live. Fascinating. We're definitely in an era when the lines between like real life and video games are getting a little blurry. I know was it Watch Dogs 3? The new Watch Dogs, the one that just dropped a couple months ago. People were saying like, yep, I know that store in London. I've walked down that street. I know that kebab shop. Super, super detailed. Same way that Ubisoft makes their cities. Yeah, agreed. It's I think there's going to be a photorealistic game at some point. I mean, you can already, if you bump up to 4K or 8K, you can already capture still images that are more or less indistinguishable from a real photograph. But I think at some point we'll see. Graphics that are indistinguishable. All right, here we go. I'm going to drive up to the top of the field. Interesting. I just noticed that our four-wheel drive has turned off. Four-wheel drive is turned off, and the hubs have unlocked. I need to pay attention and see when that happens. Well, I'm also seeing these trees bowing down as though our booms are extended. Yeah, the little bushes are... Oh, God. The bushes are moving like our booms are extended. I wonder if that has something to do with the way the animations are set up. Yep, sure is. All right, this is with four-wheel drive and hubs locked in. It says we're getting 60% wheel spin. Oi! Now we do have almost 2 tons of liquid on the back of the tractor, so I suppose that's fair. Is it wrong that I love tram lines as much as I do? I can't get enough of them, man. I'm surprised that this is not a part of base game. But in fairness, I'm surprised a lot of things aren't part of base game. Getting some lag? It could be. Yeah, it says we're still pushing out at like 65 meg and 0 drop frames. Yeah, man, I don't know what happened with seasons. I really don't. I've heard every possible explanation. I've heard that it had to do with scripting and Microsoft and PS4, what they will accept to approve a title for their consoles, because they want to keep them virus free. So they really don't. What is happening right now? Okay. I'm very confused. Refuel vehicle. We just had a full tank. What? We just had a full tank of fuel. I just looked down. We had a full tank. What in the world? All right. Rip. And so... It's always something on the farm. What? What just happened? I mean, this isn't Twitch, so I don't think anybody captured that, but... yeah, I mean, I know I'm sort of pushing the limits of people's patience. The channel has always been more about long play, slow play, but seasons on YouTube is you're really asking a lot from your audience because it's very, very slow. It really is. Okay, so let's go here, and we want fuel trucks. Is that under miscellaneous? Yep. I have no idea what happened there. I'm so confused. All right, let's go. JCB gold is going to be our color. We're going to go Nokian. Let's just buy this because we will need it. No, we won't. We won't because we have fuel on the farm. All right, and I know the quicker way to do this would be to just reset the tractor to the farm. Yeah, I mean, you could do 3-day seasons. You can do 3-day seasons, and it goes pretty quick. I mean, it's almost the same as not using it, but you still get like the leaves change and things like that. But I really can't play without it. All right, first person. Let's go get our fuel tanker. I'm so confused as to what it was that happened there. The tractor took off on its own and used an entire tank of fuel in like 5 seconds. Interesting. All right. I'll have to go back and look at the replay. I could have sworn that tractor had fuel in it. But we'll find out. All right. Fried, what is the root of your lag? Is Windows doing a nice fat update for you? And I think before I forget, I'm going to refuel this as well because I want to take the trailer down to the fuel station by the store. I'm going to refuel this first and then fill the trailer. Not fill it. I mean, we only need to put enough in there to get the Ford going again. All right. Let's all just work together. There we go. There we go. I feel like VCA introduces a little bit of lag. I feel like it does make you wait a little bit as though the driver is looking for a gear. I don't know if that's on purpose or if it's just figuring it out, but it's got kind of a nice feel to it, unless you're in a hurry. Adobe. Oh, those apps are tiny. And I think this will go on here, won't it? I hope it will. After we drove all the way down here. All right, here we go. I will look on the replay, but I'm still very confused about what happened with the Ford when we were in that field. I know I'm getting some kind of like phantom control input from somewhere, but I don't know what control input you would get that would cause a tractor to use an entire tank of fuel in like 5 seconds. All right, so we'll fill this first. Engine off, here we go. I'm gonna have some water. No, I was being sarcastic. Adobe apps are always massive. I'm really trying to stay more hydrated during streams. All right. Man, it is fascinating to me that like however I move in real life, that's how my guy moves in game. Like I just leaned over and sat my water bottle down on the floor next to me on the left side. And that's like exactly how I would lean if I was doing that in the tractor. All right. We're just going to go 3/4 of a tank because there is a fuel stop on the farm as well. I just wanted to, I don't know, get some in here because I feel like we're... Oh, that's interesting. We're not filling the tractor, we're filling the trailer. I don't know what's happening, Eddie Bohr. 100 gallons is plenty, I think. We just need enough to get going. Future is here. How's that now? You said what now? All right. Oh, why does this tractor have like no turning radius? Sir. God. It just does not want to turn. I'm really sort of angry at myself for not getting it sooner. It makes a tremendous difference in the way that I game, particularly flight sims. And it's also amazing to me that like straight out of the box, it was just completely intuitive. There was really no, you don't have to get used to it. I don't know how the engineers, like how they came up with the initial calibration or whatever, but you just look around. It's hard to explain like how easy and intuitive it is. You can, but I don't like to do that on pavement because then it's too much the other way. I'm like spinning in circles. I feel like I've been on the struggle bus in Farm Sim lately. I feel like I've been struggling and I don't know why. All right, so we will take this up to the Ford. We will refuel it and continue on our way. All I'm trying to do is get some damn fertilizer in the fields. Hang on, let me read this one. Oh, you do like it? Okay. I was kind of curious about that. I don't mind it when I'm watching someone else's video. It sort of feels like a GoPro camera. I find it to be very like involving, but VR is different somehow. Like a VR headset, watching a stream from a VR headset is too much for me. But Track IR and Tobii Eye, that's okay. So yeah, I was curious if it made the stream better or worse, or mostly I didn't want to give people like motion sickness. But there are curves that you can set, and you can smooth it out quite a bit so it's not like super jerky and abrupt. Try to give it a, I don't know, like a more fluid feel. All right, right through there, carefully. Yeah, that's what I'm always going for. Man, I hope the technology exists in my lifetime that someday I can make the videos that look as realistic as I want them to. Because I know when I first started watching people playing games online a few years ago, there'd be some titles that you see and it's just, it's like it's almost overwhelming how realistic it looks. And that was my goal, like from the jump, was to make videos that realistic, that look that good. And I still don't have an RTX card. I don't have any ray tracing capability right now, or like the deep learning anti-aliasing. That's on the way. Hopefully 2021 will be when I bring that into my system, but I just want to make those hyper realistic videos. All right, so we'll go out here. Nice little 20-minute delay. Yeah, it'll get there. And you know, I hope I'm always a little bit disappointed with my videos, because that means I'll always be motivated to try to make them better. Oh, look at that. It's still running. What in the world? All right, and then this thing slides. This is very strange. It says refuel vehicle. All right. Yeah. Oh, wow, this sucks. Okay. Yeah, it's completely bugged out because we just refueled it and it drained the tank again. Okay. Well, oh, that's extremely disappointing. So let's, and then we've got the we've got the JCB sliding away. Oh, that's kind of a buzzkill. All right, I'm going to reset that. I'm going to reset that. Okay. And then we'll hop back in the JCB. Let's get this off the field. And this sliding, I don't know what to do about that. I think that's a combination of a mod tractor and a physics mod. All right, well that is, This is how we end up broke. It's not the money we spend to buy things. It's the money we spend to fix things. All right, I'm gonna park this up. We're gonna teleport to the Ford. If it's not working properly, we're gonna sell it and get a base game tractor and just continue on our way. And I know we lost the, just now we lost the fertilizer that was in the sprayer, but what I didn't want to take a chance on was, as close as it was to the wall, the fence back there, I didn't want to disconnect and have it get glitched into the fence or shot off into space or something. Okay, to the garage. So we'll return this. Let's go in here. All right. I'm going to take this down to the fuel station and refill it. We're going to come back up here. We're going to get hooked up again. Refill the sprayer and continue on our way. What time is it now? 3 o'clock. I mean, in time, we will get all of our work done. I don't know what that was. I have a feeling that had something to do with VCA. But I've never seen Never seen a tractor use an entire tank of fuel instantly. Don't know what could cause that. Oh, hey, I filled my... So on Hunter Call of the Wild, I've got my North American Lodge, right? I've got Rocky Mountains on the first floor, Colorado on the first floor, and in the sort of vestibule area. And then on the back of the first floor is Leighton Lakes, and then upstairs is Yukon Valley. And all I ever planned on doing was hunting in North America. But then that New Zealand DLC dropped, and I had to get that for the channel, right? So now I need a place to put more trophies. So I did open an African lodge and made one room the New Zealand room, and then started going through and figuring out, well, so there's 5 more rooms, but there's like 6 more maps. So I think the long central hallway is going to be South America. The big room to the left is going to be Germany and Spain. The big room to the right is going to be Russia. And then the biggest room at the end of the hall is going to be Africa, I think. But I got the New Zealand room full. And man, I'm loving that game. I saw my hour total, and I didn't even want to look at it. I'm playing that game way too much. Yes, you can have as many as you want. Now, at the moment, there are only 2, but there's a rumor that there's going to be more types. Right now, there is kind of I don't know if you've ever heard of the Boone and Crockett Club in Missoula, but one sort of looks like the Boone and Crockett Club, and then the other one is a very typical sort of African safari lodge. I suspect that they're going to make more and sell them as DLC. So there would be perhaps a German style, right, or South American, and those will be like $4.99 a piece. But as it is now, you can have as many as you want, but they will only ever be in those 2 styles. So I decided to only get one of each, because the idea of having multiple buildings that look the same, I don't know, man, it just seems a little cookie cutter, you know, not super realistic. Now, me going out and killing like 15 trophy animals in one afternoon, that's realistic. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's hope this works. Hang on. Do we want to do something? I've never had a problem with this tractor before. We can only sell it for 10 grand. If we wanted to buy another tractor, what is this thing classified as? Medium or small? They're saying small. Go with a little Kloss, maybe? Yeah. All right. If we have any other problems with this tractor, we're going to sell it immediately. All right. So, back in gear. Refill this. We need another tub of this stuff. Kloss? Yeah. I think we need to be a little closer to that. All right, so refill that. We'll skip that song because that was awful. All right, we're full. Here we go. I do like the problem solving with this game. I always have. I feel like there's, I don't know. It's like that Millennial Farmer that I watch. There's always something going wrong. Now for him, it's like equipment breaking. And for us, it's typically like a mod conflict or something. But it's still problem solving, you know? It's just a different style of problem solving. Here we go. Yeah, it's been super cool to see his channel grow. I don't know how serious he is about his channel versus his farming, right? Like, I don't know if he's got bigger goals as far as media and entertainment, or if it's just kind of a side project for him. But it's really cool to see him growing the way he has. I like that. All right, so now 20 minutes later, on the way back up to the top of field 1. This is why these videos are like 3.5 hours long. There's only 20 minutes of work. The other 3+ hours is just trying to get things to work. All right. Now, if it's something on the map and the exact same thing happens when we get up to the top, I don't know, man. We'll just fire up Stardew Valley or something. Pour myself a glass of wine. No more farming. Oh, and tomorrow I owe you one more makeup video from, well, it's over a week ago now, but I owe you one trip from Paris to Amsterdam in the Zibo Mod 737. So tomorrow, most likely, we're going to fly from Paris to Amsterdam, and then Tuesday we'll be back on the farm. And I'm just going to alternate like that. We'll have... Are you hearing a voice? Are you hearing voices? Or is it just me? We're going to try to do the farm every other day, and then we're going to mix it up in between with ATS, ETS, X-Plane, Hunter Call of the Wild, Train Sim, and everything else. And I will probably do at least one video for MXGP 20, and you can let me know what you think of that. I did some test races in MXGP 19 just to kind of refamiliarize myself with the controls and the handling. And it's, I did half-length races, so that's 15 plus 2, and there's 2 of them. So that's like, I don't know, a good 20-minute race times 2. I don't know if that's something you want to sit through. Now, I do race at either realistic or hard difficulty, and I do race with physics on realistic and everything else. So it's the racing is pretty close. Milestone, I think, is more guilty than any other developer of rubber banding. It's, I don't know. They've got, I feel like in every Milestone title, it always comes down to like a drag race to the finish line. And you can test it out. Like you can set the difficulty to easy and go out and turn like, I don't know, a certain lap time. 134. You can turn 134s all day, and second place will be like 1 second behind you. But you're sandbagging. You could really turn 131s. So you turn a couple 131s, and second place is still 1 second behind you. So it's like their lap times are very much based on your lap times, for better or for worse. So it's, I don't know. The racing is close, but I feel like a 20-minute race may be a little long, particularly when it's kind of predictable. All right, let's get some. I wonder if it has anything to do with the 4-wheel drive. Let's get this turned on. 4-wheel drive and hubs. Here we go. Jeezy Pete's, are you kidding me? I mean, we can't even back up. This is crazy. Okay. So if we drop this, can we even pull forward? Yeah, I think this tractor has to go. I really do. This is, it doesn't like the 4-wheel drive. Let's try without. Let's try without. Yeah. I mean, thoughts? I'm going to try to get out of here. Acting as if the boom is out. Yeah, I saw it pushing down the plants earlier. That'd be super disappointing because this DLC has been out for a while. If it had a bug like that, you would hope that they would fix it. Try to lock everything in and see if that helps. I mean, the fact that we can't even back up is what's concerning me. and making me think like maybe we are not okay. I can't put a weight on the front. It doesn't have a bracket on the front. Yeah, I think something's going on with this tractor. Okay. Well, you know what? You're out. Sorry. And that was 135 horsepower. So what can we do that's about 135 horsepower? We'd go with an old Fendt. We could go with a New Holland. Big New Holland fan. With the Agri bumper. Oh. All right. And we can put a front loader on this, which is something we don't have. No, we just want, and we can put row crop tires on this. Ah. 117 horsepower max. Okay, this is a possibility. Valtra, okay. Or we could go with this little class, which I think we can get up to 140 horsepower, which is virtually identical to the Ford. Or we could go down here and go with like a T6. Right? Just trying to figure out what this is going to cost us. 125 or 150. We go 155. So that's 140 grand. So we'll just borrow a bunch of money. All right. Let's see how it works. There we go. So we're going T6, Trelleborg. Nope. We want, let's go wide tires with weights. Agri bumper. GPS, front loader, 155 horsepower. Buy that tractor. All right. How unexpected. Is there anything we can get down here that we can tow up to the store so we don't have to come back? We can get our broadcast spreader. Let's do it. So we're going to go here. And we want, let's go with this one again. And we're going to lease that. All right, up here. And then back. Beautiful. And before we leave, let's figure out what kind of transmission we want in here. Let's go power shift. And we'll say 8 miles per hour first. Taking off. Right. Good there. Okay. All right. And you know what? I guess we'll fill up while we're down here too. Right? Why not? We want 1, 2, 3. This thing holds 3,200 liters, does it not? You know, I don't know what kind of equipment a farmer would use. I think we talked about this. You know, you use what works. You use what's available. And I think with EU and global trade and everything else, that you would see Fendt tractors or Kloss tractors or, you know, whatever. You would see that type of tractor in the UK, in England. Oh, right. My bad. You don't use the autosave. You got to turn that autosave on, man. I feel you. I worked in graphic design for a long time. I've been there. That sucks. Now, is what you do to replace it going to be better, right? Because you got to start over. Is what you do next going to be even better than what you did the first time? All right. Yeah, autosave is where it's at. Yep, I've found that to be the case more times than I can count. When you have to try to recreate something from scratch, it ends up better. Trying to make a smoke effect. Ah, that's tricky. Were you doing that in After Effects? Oh, you said Photoshop. Man, I cannot believe how long this is taking. I feel like we were pulling in there to fertilize that field probably 40 minutes ago. What a world, what a world. Just noticed my mirrors are blinking. Like the smoke out of a gun. Okay, I got you. Now, is that going to be 3D or 2D? I'm telling you what, man. I do like this part of Farm Sim because we are on a time crunch. I mean, we need to get this done by tonight because I believe the grass is going to grow overnight. Now, the grass I think will be all right, but our crops have been in for, we put them in like first or second day of spring, so I think they're going to start sprouting too, and we have to have this fertilizer on them before they sprout or it won't take the second layer properly. All right, it's all very exciting. All right, I'm going to drop this in the yard. Whoa, easy. I'm going to drop this in the yard and then head back to field 1 for what, the third time now? Fourth time? Yeah, we've gone twice in the Ford and and once in the JCB on a rescue. Sigh. All right, and we'll throw this in here. Here we go. And we need to turn this way. Yep, we need to go right here and then right up here. Yeah, Blender is voodoo. I've tried it. I don't know if it's just like my mind that can't get it or if it's a really, really difficult app to use. But I've tried Blender a couple times and I do struggle with it. All right. Let's see if a base game tractor is where it's at. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. How about it? Now, I don't know if tractors need to be converted to VCA. I imagine like Gearbox Mod and more realistic. I believe the modder for both those, different modders, but I believe the modders for both of those set them up so that they would work well with all the base game equipment. Like more realistic included all of the base game equipment. I assume VCA does as well. Oh yeah, I'm definitely seeing the booms brushing through all the bushes at the side of the map, the side of the field. Interesting. It wouldn't be bugged out for this long. Giants would have fixed it by now. It's been out for the longest time. It's been out for what, 6 months? They would have fixed it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Fried. So I worked with Photoshop a lot when I was in graphic design, and I took some master classes, but I only used it for color correction. Right? I worked in the department in a print shop called Preps, which is the department that takes the art that is created by the art department and makes it into the format that it needs to be in to be printed. Right? So we would do the mock-ups and stuff, and get everything set up to be sent to the plate burner that would then go to the press room. So all I did with Photoshop, well, I've used it for compositing and illustrations in the past, but as a professional, all I ever used Photoshop for was color correction. And there's a very specific way that has to be done. So the company that I worked for sent me for master classes, and that was all I did with Photoshop. And I know other people use it for completely different things, and so they take master classes in a different direction. And then it's like, so I finally found, and I have no idea how true this is or not, but it makes sense. But the statistic says that even power users of Photoshop, that the app is so big and so powerful that even power users, on average, only use about 10% of the app. They just all use it for a different 10%, whatever it is they're specifically doing. And I think, wow, I mean, there must be somebody who uses all of Photoshop, but I can't imagine how many hours per day you would have to put into learning and practicing and like not forgetting things. And that's how Blender strikes me as well. Like if you wanted to be a power user of Blender, you would need to use it like 8 hours a day, right? Like a job. Maybe I'm just not putting enough time into it, but it never clicked for me. As many times as I've tried it, it hasn't clicked for me yet. Yeah, it's an amazing app. It is. I used Maya for a while, and I had some proficiency, but the difference between Maya and Blender is like night and day. Yeah, and I think that's true of most people. I think the majority of Photoshop users do not use all of it. They just use, whatever it is they need for their particular job. That's what they use it for, and that's it. Now, I thought, because of how far this went when we were in field, what do you call it down there? That one right there. We were hardly using any liquid fert. I thought we'd have enough to easily get through field 1, but we're kind of burning through this. As long as we're at 50% by the time we're done with 2 lengths, I think we'll be okay, but we might not have as much left over as I thought. We might have to make, another trip down to the store. No! All right, let's see how it works out. All right, and I'm going to bring this in a little bit because I feel like this boom is just right on the edge of hitting those trees. Close. And then down here. Here we go. All right, we got it. Okay, you're using Illustrator. That's Photoshop, I guess, in its own way is an old school app. How long's that been around? Like 20 years, 30 years? Not in the current version. I know it's updated constantly. Now, are you using, when you work in Illustrator, are you using like a draw pad and a pen? Do you do any analog art at all? And when I say that, like, I'm not suggesting that like analog art is better and digital art is not. I've worked in digital for years, so I don't buy that comparison. I'm just curious if you do anything, pen and ink, illustration, paint, anything like that, or if you work all digital. Okay, so you've got the you've got a digital pad. All right, so we did get field 1 done. Progress, hell yeah. We did get field 1 done. Where are we at? Almost 2 hours. JFC. And we'll see how far we can. We've only got a couple lengths left in field 7. But we may have to go down and get that last 400 liters. I hope not. Let me see. I'm gonna post a link. Illustrator works better with the mouse. You know, I can't really. I can do like freehand fine art, and I can use a pad with Photoshop or Corel or Illustrator, etc. But I'm no good with the mouse. I mean, trackball a little bit, but I feel like it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just muscle memory. I'm going to post a link for you in the chat. I hope it's still up. It's been a few years. I hope it's still up. But there was a guy named Delman Rook. He's a digital artist, and he does time lapse of his digital illustrations, and it is like, it's just hypnotic seeing him work. All right, let me get done with this row, and I'll put that link in. All right. And I need to get something to drink too. There we go. Let's see if these are still up. I didn't leave. I'm still here. I'm just looking for this link for you. You know what? Let me try here. We'll just look on YouTube, because I bet if they're anywhere, they'd be there. Playlists. All right. That's crazy seeing everything folding down as we drive past it. I mean, there was one mod in the store, the mod hub, for the longest time that was like badly broken, and it was there, right? Like they didn't pull it. And the explanation that I heard was, well, it doesn't crash the game. I mean, it doesn't work properly, but it doesn't break the game. All right. I guess our expectations are a little different as far as, you know, what a good mod is. All right, so we're going to dip right up the side here. And we may or may not have enough to finish this. I hope we do. we're spraying. All right. I mean, it's just that little corner down there. And we do have, we've got a terrain mod that I guess makes a really big difference as far as like the difference between planted, plowed, cultivated, and harvested. So I think that's why we're bouncing around so much. All right, so from here, carefully back up. $133 pictures. Are you? What are you doing with those? You just can't stop taking them, or do you have a specific plan in mind? $73 liters. Oh, are we gonna make it 50? Oh, we just got that one little bit right there. 30. 17 liters. Is 17 liters enough to do this little length right here? I'm not going back to the store. I'm just not. 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Son of a... All right, chat, what are you thinking? Is it worth driving back down there? I mean, we've got 400 liters in the parking lot of the store, and if we don't go get it, it's just going to sit there. So is it worth driving down there, picking up the 400 liters and coming back to do that little... God, so mad. So mad right now. All right, let's just go do it. Let's just do it right. Oh, sigh. And then as soon as we're done spraying, we will just return this thing. I know we're going to have a little bit of spray in it, so we'll lose a little bit of money there, but it keeps the map clean. That's why I want to go get this, because if we don't put it in the sprayer now, it's just going to sit there unless we, I don't know, buy a front loader or something and move it. And I don't feel like doing that, so let's just get it out of there. Is there anything else we can pick up while we're down there? Can't think of anything offhand. All right. Man, I'm driving way too fast. Just want to get this over with. There's our bales right there. I want to say those bales are about 20 grand. And I'm super, super happy about that. I thought about saving them for the cows if we get a dairy going. But there's really no reason to. Because we're going to have 2 more grass cuts this summer. So it's not like we need those straight away. I mean, even if we did need silage for the cows, we wouldn't need it till, like, I don't know, this fall. Unless we want cows right now. But I don't think there's any reason to do that because we don't have straw bales. So the earliest we'll get cows will be next year, and between now and then we will certainly have a lot of other opportunities to put up silage. Hang on. Just saw something long come in. Stand by. Gotta read. Projects like that are so much fun. I always enjoyed that. I had, I wasn't in school, but I worked for a print shop and advertising agency. And my art director would tell me to do a layout for him. And he would say, it's a layout for a law firm. Can't say law firm on it anywhere. I need you to create a brand for them using only logo type, but I need you to select a font and create a layout that when I look at it, I have the feeling that it is a law firm. And he would just mix them up, right? He'd say, one day it would be a law firm, another time it would be an ice cream shop, another time it would be a toy store. Didn't matter. But using only typography and using only logo type, can you capture the essence of this business, of this brand? I always enjoy projects like that. And then also portfolio pieces where you just make up a company, right? Make up a company and create a brand for it if you've got an idea. It's a fantastic exercise. And I feel like the people that trained me, like when I got into art, we were already digital, right? But the days of like daylight cameras and darkroom cameras and modifiers and cutting rubylith with a swivel, the people that trained me, that's how they had come up. So for them, typesetting was like literally setting type, or if you had a linotype machine, right, you had to put the reels on it and transfer the letters over to film and then take them in and shoot them with a camera to create a layout. Whereas for me, in my era, you just put your type in and then you experiment with fonts until it looks the way you want it to look. But the old timers didn't have that luxury, so they had to know typography. They had to know how it was going to look when it was done, because they didn't have the time to do 30 or 40 layouts. Whereas in the digital era, we have that luxury. We can do a lot of different variations or a lot of different layouts, or look at something, and if you don't like the way it looks, just Control Z, no problem. So they were much more serious about typography, and I feel like they were trying to pass that on to me. Okay, drop it on Google Drive and DM me a link. I've always enjoyed just making up brands. That's what I do with my VTC. But our VTC has extended out now. It includes a virtual airline. We've got a commuter rail line in Germany. And we sponsor a race team. But essentially where that all comes from is when I start a new ETS profile, I just pick a city randomly. And whatever country that city is in, that determines the theme of our company. So right now we're in Germany, so I'll try to go with something very Germanic looking and big block colors, a sort of Bauhaus style, right? And if it's if we're in Spain next year, it's going to be a lot brighter and more colorful. Or we can go with an American company that has a division in Europe, and that would have a specific look. But I've always enjoyed just creating brands, branding for companies, whether they're real or virtual. All right. Last time, and then we're done. Here's the camera. And fighting it today. Absolutely fighting it, but we're not giving up. All right. 2 hours in, our fields are fertilized. Unbelievable. All right. So we're going to take this over to the yard over here. Park it up. Return the sprayer. Hook up the spreader. And then sleep through the night. All right. Close your eyes. Not realistic. There we go. Okay. Hooked up. Shut that off. How are we doing on food and water for the animals? Let's go give them some water. All right. Let's get some sleep. See what grows tomorrow. And I think what we'll most likely do is we're not going to be ready to harvest anything anytime soon. So I think what we'll do is sleep through the night, come back tomorrow. Spread fert as much as we can, and then we'll call it. And I'll probably speed through a couple more days off camera. And then next time we will, let's sell some wool next time. I want to sit on it until it's got a really good price, but we might not be able to. We might have to sell it just to survive, just to keep the lights turned on. All right, right up here is Home Sweet Home, and it is, oh, it's already 3:30. Okay, so we'll just need to sleep a little bit. All right, and I don't think we can yet. No. So speed up time. I'm gonna have something to drink. All right, it's 5 o'clock. Is there anything else we're forgetting before we skip time till tomorrow? I don't think so. It's 6 o'clock. I want to say it's like 7 or 8 before you can sleep. Yeah. Seven? Still not tired. Come on now. All right, so this is 8 o'clock now. There we go. So I'm going to slow time down again. Slow this down to 5. Go here, and it's 8, so we want to sleep 10 hours. Here we go. And it's raining. Well, it was raining. It stopped. All right. Let's see what's happened. And we'll give it, because it does take a minute to cycle everything through. So let's start walking down this way and see what's different by the time we get down here. It doesn't look like our grass has grown at all. Let's see if our crops have grown at all. What do we got? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right. Let's take a look here. All right, we're still good there. So if we turn our grass on, yep, showing we're still harvested, and this is growing. Has anything sprouted at all? Oh, there we go. It has sprouted. It just hadn't populated yet. But the grass has not grown yet, so I guess all we can fertilize is our arable fields, because our grass is still purple. Yeah. Okay, so let's do some fertilizing. And we'll get our arable fields done, and then I imagine our grass fields will have grown on the first day of summer. So I'll skip 2 days off camera, keep the animals fed, keep the wool pallets stacked up, and then next episode will be getting back into grass work. Let's do the fields with the tram lines, because I don't feel like messing with VCA and guidance steering for the other fields. I want them to be straight though, because where we crush the crop, that's essentially going to be tram lines. So let's just do the ones that we know work. And that is over to this side. And I don't think our grass fields will take anything. Oh, careful. I don't think our grass fields will take anything until we let them grow a little bit. So no worries there. All right. We good? All right, I think so. And let's do this. Get turned here. And I'm going to try to do this first person just to see how difficult it is. So go right here. Right? Right in here. Right? Let's get back there. Cruise control. Bump that up. Right? And it's not letting me spray anything. Yeah, it's not taking any fertilizer at all. Okay. Well, I mean, we did spray these fields before we planted the crops, did we not? But I don't know if precision farming like resets everything. I think it may have. Yeah, so the sprayer is on right now. Spreader is on. And it's not accepting any fertilizer at all. Okay. Well, there's really nothing we can do. I mean, we can, if we wanted to, we could sleep for 3 days. But I have a feeling these fields are not going to take any more fertilizer this planting cycle. But let's try the lower one as well, because I know field 1 had 3 layers of FERT before we stopped. So let's go try the others and see if they'll take any at all. Alright, so turn that off. Oh yeah, because looking at our flag up on top, it says we're where we need to be. I'm not fully understanding something about precision farming. I don't think. I feel like I'm missing something. Let's turn around here. And very carefully leave this field. And see if the others will take anything. Carefully, right through there. And we do have crop destruction turned on, but I feel like when the plants are young, they just sort of fold over under the tires and then they spring back up. It's only when they get a little bigger that you can crush them. All right, let's go down to field 2 and field 6. I know there's only had 2 layers of FERT earlier. Because if not, all we need this for is the grass, right? Carefully. Sneak right around here. So I want to say several of these fields had 3 layers before we installed precision farming, and several did not. Right on. Thanks, Swiss. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. All right. And if this does not work, I don't know if I want to spend like 10 or 12 minutes just speeding through time. Yeah, now this field, okay, so see the difference there? I don't know if you caught that, but as soon as our wheels went into the field, the meter went way up. You'll see it a little bit right here as we cross over. Yeah, this field does need, does it? I don't know. This is like, yes, this field does. It does not. It does. It does not. The meter's going up and down. I feel like there's some areas that do and some don't. Will do, Swiss. I will check it out. All right, I'm not going to mess with field guidance. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and see if these fields take any fertilizer at all. I don't know if they will or not. All right, so sprayer is on. No, it looked like it wanted to apply it to field 7. I don't know what's happening right now. I think what it's seeing is these tiny little like edges of the field where we missed a spot. And for that, it's turning on the spreader. But the field itself, like the bulk of the center of the field, I don't think any of these fields can accept fertilizer right now. Now they may do once they've grown a little bit more, but at the moment, I feel like their levels are good. We'll try field 6 and then field, field 7 and then field 3-7. Yeah, see, it's just the little, those little sort of dregs. Okay. Oh, it's a shame there's no way to sort of fine-tune that, because I don't know a way to get every single square meter of every field without sort of painting fields. And that's something I try not to do. Like in real life, it's just not possible to cover every single meter. You have gaps. Yeah. I mean, so it's accepting on this one. This one can be sprayed. I don't know. I'm going to drive into these tram lines here and try it, see if it'll take it. But I'm not entirely clear on what's happening right now. Yeah, I think it's just the corners that are sort of triggering it. All right. Very odd. Has not been the most productive episode, I have to say. But that's the way it works out sometimes. So what do you think? Do you want to sleep through a few days? Or do you want to call it and pick up a few days into the future on Tuesday? Because I don't think there's really anything else we can do with these fields until the arable crops grow a little bit more and the grass grows a little bit more. I think we're sort of in a holding pattern until then. And how long we've been going? A little over 2 hours. I'm okay going a little bit longer, but if you feel like we're just sort of covering the same ground, I can do some things off camera and we'll pick it up on Tuesday. All the same to me. Yeah, it hasn't been the best episode. It's not all going to be gold. I feel terrible when it happens, but it's sometimes the stream sucks. I know it. I know it. All right, so let's get down here. All right. When everything goes wrong like this, I do get a bit flustered, I have to say, because it's not that I'm panicking. I just know that it's going off the rails, and I don't know what to do to save it. All right, so we'll go back here, and it looks like, yeah, grass field's obviously very, very low, but they won't take another layer until the grass grows, and it looks like these others are pretty good. And I think when these grow, the levels will drop, but for now, everything is good. Oh, thanks, Rod. I appreciate it. I am my own worst critic. I'm sure you know what that's like. All right, so what I will do is, off camera, I will just keep the animals fed, keep the wool pallets stacked, and skip us ahead to the first day of summer. I think the grass will grow on the first day of summer, and the arable crops will advance one stage forward. So when they do, we'll see about fertilizing everything. And what I'll probably do is fertilize like half the fields. As soon as they can take fertilizer, I will fertilize them off camera. So when we come back, we won't have all 8 fields to do. Maybe we'll only have like 2 or 3 or something. So, all right, I will figure all that out. And we'll do X-Plane tomorrow. We're going to go from Paris to Amsterdam, De Gaulle to Schiphol, and then Tuesday will be Farm Sim. Wednesday is either ATS or ETS, and then Thursday I think is Train Sim, and Friday is MXGP20. I think I gotta look at a calendar. So, all right, I'll fix it off camera. Thanks everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate you. You are a great audience. You're just gonna finish it tonight? Done? All right, I can relate. All right, thanks everybody. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll do some X-Plane. X-Plane or Flight Sim? X-Plane. We'll do some X-Plane tomorrow. All right, see you later. Good night.